On this week's episode, we talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
And other pop culture news of the week.
So this week we got to see a ton of new and fun stuff, including a horror adaptation, video game adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's. And it was really fun.
Yeah, it was good. I never played the game.
Me neither.
But I thought it was a fun, interesting horror thriller take on amusement pizzerias or whatever they call those kind of places. And
Chuck E. Cheese, it's not actually Chuck E. Cheese.
It's getting a lot of love.
Mm-hmm.
The movie beat records and got a great box office, 78, right? 78.
Yeah, $78 million opening.
Million dollars.
Not bad.
And it was the highest horror film box office of the year.
Yeah, it's a Blumhouse record.
Yeah. It's also on streaming. The movie was released on streaming at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it did great. It was probably, I think, is the best Peacock movie release to date.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't see anyone saying anything bad. And gamers everywhere would like come out, and the people that played that specific game, they would say, this no complaints.
Yeah.
And
this game's been out for a while and definitely has a bit of a, like, maybe not cult following, but certainly a devoted following. Like, there's lore and all that good stuff. It's popular and beloved. So yeah, all that to say, I second what he says. If fans didn't like it, they would let us know.
Yeah, and so apparently it's out there. It's fun. It's entertaining. It has Josh Hutcherson, which is a interesting character. I mean, actor. And it was good. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, like, I don't want to spoil anything. We haven't played the game. My brother has played, I think, just about all the games. He's a big fan. He loved the movie. So I think they did a good job of taking, like, a fairly simple horror indie game premise and then giving it
simple in the game.
It is. So I'm talking to my brother. It's actually
usually it's the opposite. Usually, when it becomes a movie, they like simplify for the audiences. Film audiences seem to be, it's not that the audiences are Hollywood create this trend of oversimplifying things for the audiences.
Assassin's Creed comes leaping to mind.
What's it called? Instant gratification. The trailer shows everything.
Sure.
You don't get to you lose some of the jokes. Sometimes even the best jokes. Sometimes even all the jokes for a movie that shouldn't have jokes. You lose the trailer, some surprises, and in most cases, that's what happens, the oversimplifying the film when it comes from, other media, especially video games that, I don't know, in average 20, 30 hours playing, half of that being actual story, and in the movie they make like 2 hours with 1 hour and a half of story.
Yeah, with this one, and again, this is like my understanding, this is like second, third hand, so take it with a grain of salt. But a lot of, they added quite a bit of like backstory, fleshed out some characters, developed motivations, and things like that, so really kind of embiggened the story, you might say. Just added a lot to it to make it not just like a creepy slasher movie, but like actually a movie that has some heart to get you like invested in and caring about the characters, and
you say
and all that stuff.
You're saying it's a slasher with heart. You clearly didn't see many slashers.
Yeah. Okay, so slasher's maybe not the right word, but like this isn't just like, okay, let's watch some people die in like macabre comedic fashion.
I always thought
there's some more going on there.
I don't know.
And I really appreciated that.
I don't know about the game. I never played the game, but I always thought it was to the comedy side, like funny, like you're running from bears to survive. So,
yeah, there's definitely an element.
I guess slashers have that. But this one, they didn't rely on that at all. They move away from that. It's dramatic. It's not as funny and giggles. It's still kind of funny, ridiculous, because you see, animatronic creatures trying to kill you, and they look like fuzzy bears. But that's part of the, I guess, the surprise. You're not gonna suspect some of these creatures, and then they gruesomely kill you.
Yeah, it's a nice adaptation of the trope of like here's something that's like sweet and innocent and childlike, and now we're gonna make it like deadly and threatening. Like clowns and little girls and things like that. But they do it really, really well. So even though it is kind of a trope, like I'm here for it. It was really fun to watch. They didn't rely on any cliches like splatters or like weird chase scenes. It was really well executed. And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of the effects were practical.
Oh yeah, the animatronics were animatronics.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the director said that's like at some moment in the production, the animatronics move when they shouldn't.
Oh, they said that happened on Jurassic Park a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was raining all the time because of where they were, and that would short out the T-Rex, and so he would just start or she, I guess, would start moving and roaring and stuff.
What do you mean? Wasn't that CGI?
Well, there was also an animatronic.
They had some animatronics. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So spooky.
Spooky animatronics.
But definitely want to see, especially now. We're still out of Halloween season. Is one. If you didn't see yet, a lot of people seen it over the past 2 weekends. If you didn't see yet, you should see Freddys, Five Nights at Freddy's at Peacock. And if it's a success, and if the success is even bigger, for sure they're gonna make more, and to develop this
totally room for it.
This very interesting story. There's even a mid credit scene. Be aware, stay in the theater, or
we bailed too soon.
Don't skip it. But it's fun. It's good, and I just I know we bash like Disney's business decisions every episode, but like let's just the timing. They just got the timing. This is not Disney.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying they got the time. Blumhouse got the timing for the release just right, like the week before Halloween. Perfect. Whereas Disney tried to release their spooky movie back in August?
Yeah.
September? Like nobody wants to see that then. But now, like, this is the perfect time. We're all in the mood for it. So it's what I was saying back when they released Haunted Mansion. Now it's partially proved right. A, it's a good movie. And B, they got the timing right. When we're all in, like, the height of spooky season.
It's PG-13, right?
I don't remember the rating, but that sounds right.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's many things to make it R.
Not really.
Besides the gruesome deaths.
But even the gruesome deaths are kind of implied almost.
Yeah. I also don't know the rating for the game. I would assume the game is T14, but
it might be. I know a lot of kids who played it, and there's a lot. At one point, there was a lot of FNAF merch. That's right, they call it FNAF. Learned that the other day.
What's FNAF? Oh,
Five Nights at Freddy's. FNAF. Anyway. At one point, there's a lot of FNAF merch in the toy section at Walmart.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's a Peacock. Go check it. It's fun, and it's just interesting.
Yeah.
And everybody is loving it, and it's not because it's not fluke. It's good.
Yep. Yeah. Now, I'd like to see this trend continue. Amazon is coming out with a Fallout TV series in April of 2024, this coming April. And if it can be as good, like we had Mario that was really, really good. Now we've got this one that's really good. Could we continue this trend of like really successful fun, enjoyable to watch video game adaptations, that would be nice.
Yeah. Well, no, they definitely investing hard on video games, especially after a huge success. There was Mario. Sonic was really good too.
That's right. I forgot about Sonic.
But Mario had like bigger numbers.
Mario was huge.
And yeah, they gotta invest that because there's a little bit of exhaustion. They call so-called
fatigue,
superhero fatigue, superhero movie fatigue, which is not the content because the books are out since 38 was Superman, but even before that we had like cowboys and had other type of comic. So the genre, the it's out there forever, and it changes, it recycles. It's a matter of what the industry is doing to damage the content. They always did, but that's what is fatiguing people. It's because it's like, seriously, you guys not gonna do anything new? But anyways, we're gonna touch that a little bit more
we will.
later.
And I'm sure it'll trigger a couple rants. Even though what you were just saying, I was like, oh boy. I got opinions. Anyway, that's not important.
We also saw a couple more movies. We saw two Netflix originals. One, since we just talk about this horror, let's talk about this comedy called Old Dads by Bill Burr. He directed, he produced it, he wrote it, and he starred in it. Yeah. It's about I wouldn't say middle-aged dads.
Yeah,
no,
they're all like late 40s.
Yeah,
getting into their 50s. Yeah.
Yeah, and their relationship with their kids, their
youngerish wives,
their wives, and their in the community around of other kids, other parents. And the community in general.
Yeah, many of whom are a generation younger, and so a lot of this is about like generational changes.
Yeah.
Going from Gen X to millennials raising their kids.
Yeah, inspired on his comedy specials, on his comedy routine. So there's a lot of bashing on the woke subculture, on the millennial, on this whole PC thing. He personally has this personal attacks to Austin, is it called? Joe Austin.
Yes, Joel Osteen.
Joe Osteen, and there's the jokes with
it's like same
Steve Jobs, and the crazy stupid things that wokes do.
Yeah. So when I saw, he turned on a movie called Old Dads starring Bill Burr, I had pretty low expectations. I feel like this movie had no business being as thoughtful and emotional as it was. Did I cry at one point? Yes.
Did you?
Do I kind of resent Bill Burr for making me cry?
Oh, you cried.
In a comedy? Yeah.
Wait,
a little bit.
He triggered you? He offended you?
No, not at all. There's a moment, it was just so touching and that spoke so beautifully to the experience of becoming a parent that I was like, oh man, right in the feels.
Yeah.
Which frankly is not what I expected. So there's a lot of really thoughtful stuff about, and the mocking, the ridiculing of millennial and Gen Z, woke culture and all this other stuff is really tempered by the fact that he also kind of points out some of the errors of his own generation. So there's a lot of satire, a lot of ridicule, but it's all, I felt like it was all very thoughtful and got us, led us to a really good and frankly beautiful place. It had no business being as lovely as it was.
Yeah.
But it was. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, I also cried. No,
I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, it was funny. It was very funny with him, Bob Cannavale, the black dude that looks like Dave Chappelle, but it's not Dave Chappelle.
That's what I was thinking the entire time.
I can't remember his name. But yeah, you guys might remember. but he's also a funny guy. There's other familiar faces we see there. You see the doctor from Lucifer. She's this crazy
preschool principal, but like a bougie private preschool that gets you on track for the private elementary school that gets you on track for the Ivy Leagues. It's like that whole world, which we homeschool, man. Like it's a different world.
We see Natasha Leggero. We see there. We see other comedians in all sorts of places. That's one of the strippers. There's like a lot naked. She's a comedian. It's like, wow, how? Anyways, I guess she has no problem with that. We see other comedians. I thought his role was very. I don't know. I've seen his specials, and he's intense, and he screams. It's like, loser, F you, and stuff like that. On this one, he was a little bit contemplative about life and kids. And their wife was expecting, and this generation shock that wouldn't affect him if he wasn't married, but because it was affecting the wife and the kids,
his wife and his children.
But you see some absurdities of Big Brother watching them constantly, and because of that they may not lose their job. And the kind of stuff. Overall, I don't know. His acting was, I wouldn't say it was weird, but it was so different than what I've seen him done in other things. We've seen him on The Mandalorian. That was like, hey, the guy can act a little bit more than what he usually does. And overall funny. It's on Netflix. If you want to laugh about the absurdities, you see probably every day, especially if you live on the coasts. You're gonna have a good laugh.
It's good. It's almost definitely rated R, and it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, we also saw a pretty intense movie called Pain Hustlers, also on Netflix. This one stars Chris Evans and Emily Blunt. And
these two are very, very surprised for me, because I thought Bill Burr's movie would be like crazy funny. Sorry. Buddy, cop type of funny, with these guys going through this craziness and laughing all the time. It was funny, but it was a little bit more thoughtful. And the other one too, I thought the trailer, I saw Chris Evans, who's always kind of funny. He's basically the Human Torch on everything he does, sort of.
He does play douche really well.
I still think that was a bad decision to make him Captain America, but I guess that's you cannot fix that, or can you? And so, and then we had Emily Blunt. The movie's called Pain Hustlers, and I know I saw it wasn't even a trailer. It was more like a teaser, Instagram teaser. And she's being charming, and he's being a douche. I was like, okay, it seems like a comedy. That movie is not a comedy. It has funny moments, sure, but it's not a comedy at all.
Oh, Catherine O'Hara is in it.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like this huge red herring. Like, this will be hilarious.
Which is not a comedy. Oh, it is a comedy. Nowadays they have movies that are not funny at all. Series that are not funny at all.
Yeah, it's mostly the series.
And they win awards for comedy, us comedies. But this one is not a comedy. It's actually based on a true story. I mean, I guess that could be a comedy, but it's based on a true story and not a comedy. Very interesting. It's a different side of something we see on some other material. And Netflix has some other material. They had a series called, I have no idea, with Matthew Broderick. about the opioid crisis.
And the Sacklers.
And
OxyContin.
Hulu has a series called
Dope Sick.
So it's pharma.
Yeah, so this is like the same time, but it's not OxyContin. It's fentanyl, and specific, like a very specific company with a very specific like fentanyl, I guess, delivery. Because they weren't the only ones doing fentanyl; they just had like a different way to get it to you. And so this side, they're Chris Evans and Emily Blunt play the sales people, and so that's why it's called pain hustlers, right? They're the ones, the pharma reps who are going out to doctors' offices and trying to convince them to prescribe their fentanyl spray, and all that. And so we get to see like all the dark and shady stuff that's totally legal, and the stuff that's not really legal, but they get away with anyway. The insane amounts of money that they make, and the massive amount of human suffering that came afterwards.
Another curveball that did this one through me was different than the one about the Sacklers in the opioid crisis. There's two going on. This one, I felt like in the beginning everybody wanted to do good. You know, they were trying to save people from pain. And
specifically cancer patients. This particular drug was originally developed to help with like stage 4 cancer pain. You know, that point where you're probably not going to make it. You're just in excruciating pain. This is just going to alleviate suffering, right? That's a good thing.
Yeah, and a small company, very small, like they were about to be obliterated, to get kicked out of the market. And then Emily Blunt comes to help with her talents and skills, and then you know, it's like walking to the bedside to get you know, like Assassin's Creed, we work in the shadows to protect the light. But
eventually you're just in the shadows. That's kind of the path we saw here.
But it's the irony is, spoiling or not, I guess the real story. It's
we all know where the opioid crisis went.
But that's not the opioid crisis.
No, it is. No, it's a facet of it.
Yeah, but that
fentanyl is an opioid that's like killing bajillions of people.
Yeah, but this one was I guess the opioid one was from the beginning. It feels like they were already on the business of let's get these people addicted, you know. And these guys, these guys, they in the beginning, they were helping people. The drug was efficient. It was working. But once they got 86% of the market, and they want to keep it, then they start, you know, instead of moving a little bit, one of the characters says going 67 on a 65, then they decided to go 120, you know. So that came with money. So it was greedy. It was greed at you know, far on the process. On with the Sacklers, with Purdue, it felt like that guy to show off for his family, you know. He, like from the beginning, he wanted to like push this drug, even not being as efficient, and definitely not being as efficient as the other ones. But anyways, that was very interesting. Not a comedy. I was surprised and still kind of surprised, but it was good.
It was good. I had the opposite impression. I saw what it was, you know, picked up what it was about. Like, oh man, this is gonna get dark, and this is gonna get really gritty. And it didn't really get into like a dark and gritty place. You get some really interesting looks at like human nature, this whole like question of motivation. Are they helping people? Are they like really trying to help people, or are they really going for those big checks? Or like I thought it was really interesting. And Emily Blunt's character is, well, I mean, it's Emily Blunt. She's always very like compelling, and she's just a great actress, and she does the role credit. She really shines in it. So yeah, it's well worth the watch, and a good look at like other aspects of the opioid crisis, and like the business practices and other things that kind of got us to this point. Yeah, and some of the sketchy stuff that happens on the pharma side, and like pharmaceutical marketing. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Just watch it. It's good. It's relevant.
Pain Hustlers is on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So is Old Dads. Mm-hmm. If you wanna, I don't know, a little bit of drugs, or a little bit of comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe watch Old Dads after you watch Pain Hustlers. You know, restore a little faith in humanity. I don't know. Okay, we also saw the series finale of Billions.
Yeah, and the director said, the creator said that it was, they give the fans a happy ending, or was an inevitable ending. It's like there was no way to not end like that, which I can see. But the show is good. It was great in the first seasons, and then it dropped a little with addition of some characters, and then it dropped a little more with some drastic changes, and then on the final season they fixed those drastic changes to fix a problem. To fix another problem. There wasn't really a problem unless you count some personal pet peeve that someone had, which is yeah, it kind of took away a lot from you know the how can I say, the grandiousness of the show. They had like these, I guess in the beginning it was a little bit about that too, because Chuck going after him after Bob Axelrod.
Yeah.
It was about the wife, right? This
guy it was kind of personal. Like he had some other reasons to like to justify it. Like there's no way you get to where Bobby Axelrod was without doing some sketchy stuff and breaking some laws.
Again,
totally fair,
that's vague and shallow, but he
I'm saying,
found
like,
something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It was not just
he had like some stuff to justify it, but he was really going after it.
Yeah.
Because of Bobby's relationship with Wendy.
Yeah. Paul Giamatti's character and Wendy, his character's wife, Bob Axelrod by the great
Damian
Lewis. In this last one, it felt like it was going after big tech guys, going after Trump. It felt like they drank a lot from reality, and because they write these things, what happens in reality, what the beefs people have with Musk, Zuckerberg, with Trump, with Gates, and these billionaires, it might be proven in reality or not, this conspiracy theory or not. On the show, they could write that this guy is bad, and we're gonna catch him doing this, but no moment during the season that happened, besides one line he says when he answers a question, hypothetically speaking, of something that might happen or might not happen in the future, and because of that he was a threat to democracy, something that you probably read in real life out there, but it was kind of like, I mean, I know it was an excuse to bring Axelrod's character back and to close the show, but for me it was like, come on, guys, you're writing this.
And I guess for me personally, it didn't all the way hold up, because they're like, this billionaire cannot have this kind of power. But the whole show and the way they solve the problem is not through democratic means, but by relying on other billionaires to manipulate society, manipulate markets to take down the billionaire. And there's this whole idea that like, he's evil because he's wealthy, but everybody in the show is freaking loaded. So like, there were definitely some moments of like, this isn't holding up. It was still fun to watch. Yeah. And they did a nice job, at the end of like slowly tying up the loose ends, getting people to their happy endings, or happy-ish. They're decent endings.
Yeah, it was
bringing back some old faces. So you feel like, I remember them. Oh.
Yeah, this guy was definitely I don't know what you can call White Knight against Bob's Dark Knight. On the season he shows up and take him down. And in this one, pretty much everybody gangs up with the Dark Knight to take down, the prince, the archangel. Yes. Everybody allies themselves with Lucifer to take down the prime angel. It was a good show, but I mean from the beginning of the season we keep seeing that it was vague, the motivations, not the motivations, but the support, evidential support to take him down. And at the very end they didn't fix it, which is it's sad, but it was a final swan song. Is that it called swan song?
Yeah.
For some terrific characters the show had. Wags
is so gross, but I love him so much.
Yeah. So was Bob Axelrod and Chuck and Wendy too was terrific characters. Those characters alone, I guess.
Chuck's dad is a piece of work.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Every time his dad shows up, it's like, hey, shenanigans are coming.
The doctor.
Oh my gosh. What? Oh.
Such a like terrible characters. But
it's so entertaining,
very entertaining. And again, it if anything, the qualities of the show go against bad guys that we see in other pieces of fiction. They are not bad guys. So it's did a bit of mistake. Loki is trying to save the universe now, but he was a type of guy. Or any other bad guys. They're on books. They are terrible. Like excruciating is not a word, but anyways.
No, excruciating is a word.
But it's not the word I want to use.
Excoriating?
Yeah, no, it's not like the scum, like really bad guys. And in this case, they are bad guys. Even if the end they pretending to save America, to save democracy, bad guys, liberals, Democrats, pretending they're good guys. But in fiction, the lack of bad guys, it's a symptom of failed times. Because if you cannot write bad guys when there's real bad guys out there, why are we not writing it? Do we own them anything? Are we afraid of them? So there's a lot of things that could be, but to see actual bad guys winning or losing on fiction, it is refreshing. And of course there was like some terrific funny moments in the show. It was really good. Billions on Showtime, from Showtime, available on Paramount Plus. You should watch the entire series. You're definitely gonna get a kick out of it, and maybe learn a thing or two about Wall Street, big market stocks, shorting, and it's fun.
My big takeaway is like it's all made up and it's all stupid, and it's stupid that we rely on these people as much as we do. Anyways, so Killers of the Flower Moon had a $23 million opening, which seems pretty good.
Yeah, for
this kind of movie, for a 3.5 hour.
No, I mean not
Apple
for Scorsese.
film?
I mean maybe not for Scorsese, for big movies they make, he makes. But it's Apple is like with a smile from one side of the face to the other. They really like the success, and is proving their plan works. So they're gonna make more. Good for everybody.
Yeah, it is good for everybody. Now, what's up with these intermission violations?
Oh,
what's that?
The movie is 3 hours and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Some theaters are making intermissions. They are stopping the movie for some places.
People are weak.
Some places 6, some places 15 minutes intermissions. So it's causing commotion because there was no such thing on the initial agreement between the producers, the filmmakers, and the theaters.
Interesting. All right.
You can't go pee.
Okay.
If Scorsese was able to stay here for 3 hours and a half watching a movie, you can.
I went to see Avengers Endgame on
But you were pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. I was like on my due date.
Yeah.
Right? So like not only do I have to pee more anyway because of pregnancy, but I had like a 9-pound baby's head resting on my bladder. Like, and I made it. I made it through all of Endgame. I'm just saying, plan ahead. You can make it. It's worth it. This is we said last time. This is a film worth seeing in the theater.
But that's not, but you're pushing the to the fans. It's more. It was the theaters that imposed that. So
I know. I was saying the theaters don't need to do it.
Yeah.
It's all baloney, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Pony up, whatever. Anyway, okay. The New York Times they've had a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Among other media outlets.
Yeah, they admitted that. The Hamas attacked Israel and killed 900 people. The most.
That was like 1,500.
1,500 people. The biggest attack on the Jews since the Holocaust. Starting this reigniting this constant war. A rocket exploded in a hospital in the Gaza Strip, on which the terrorists, the bad guys, blame Israel. Israel is killing people, innocents, on hospitals. And the New York Times went to ask the bad guys for what happened, and the bad guys told them that, and the New York Times published that Israel was bombing hospitals. It turns out there was not Israel bombing hospitals. There was the Hamas attacking Israel. So one of the rockets failed and blew up the hospital. And the New York Times, after doing this for days, they finally came out and admitted, it's like, yeah, we made a mistake. And because they are on the top of the industry, a lot of other people and other companies were publicizing that, saying that is true. But the New York Times came out and said, no, we got our information from the bad guys that are on the ground, and we were wrong. It's not news that the New York Times is wrong. It's good news that they admit it this time.
Yeah, the whole thing is a mess, and I mean, at the end of the day, like all this just kind of glosses over the colossal, unfathomable human suffering happening right now in that part of the world. Like it's just it's so bad. We can't even get accurate information about it. Anyway, moving on to more pop culture stuff that is much more lighthearted and upbeat. SAG-AFTRA strike continues. Mission Impossible 8 has been moved back to May of 2025 due to the strike. Any other updates about it this week?
Well, the fighting, and it seems that they're getting close in some aspects, but they're not getting close on the main thing. It's going on. There was some ridiculous stuff about Halloween. The SAG-AFTRA was telling their talents not to wear Halloween costumes that belongs to the studios. The costumes, the characters that belongs to the studio. I was like, really? That's so dumb. Anyways, but yeah. One quick bit about Mission Impossible 8. Not a joke. I mean, Joe Biden is a joke, but this news not a joke. Apparently, Joe Biden saw the latest Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, and after that, he got really worried about AI. So, ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the free world.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's real fun. Spotify had a great year. Their subscribers went up 26%, leading them to a great third quarter profit.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
The HBO CEO got caught on Twitter with he didn't respond to accusations that they were using fake Twitter accounts to talk against the critics. You know, the critics say something like when you say something about a movie, and a bunch of fake Twitter accounts come to talk bad. It's like, apparently the robots hired by the company, the CEO denied to talk about it, which is never a good sign. Anyways,
All right. The PS5 Slim has an optional disc drive.
Looks ridiculous.
Yeah. And what else is wrong with it?
You attach from the side. It's like, that's weird. And you have to be connected. You have to connect it to the internet to use the physical media.
Which, like, doesn't that defeat the purpose? Like, the whole point of the PS5 Slim is, like, it doesn't have a disc drive, and you can only play online, right? You download your games.
The discless, yes. The discless,
yeah, it's discless, yeah.
The discless versions is you download the game.
Yeah.
In this one, you don't need to download the game because you have physical media, but you have to be connected to the internet to use the physical media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, well. But not all is doom and gloom at PlayStation. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has done really, really well.
Yeah, even if all the troubles, the critics about, you know, how MJ it's ugly, how her character is overpowered. I start playing. She arrives on a Harley Davidson.
Oh.
No problems of like, but it's like the first scene she arrives in the show is. And of course, they Losified and Irisified her. She made her a journalist, a war correspondent. When it's not her character. Well, anyways, besides that, the game is fun when she's not around. When the characters are wearing their masks. When they are heroes, when they're not humans. The human part, it's messed up. But so far it's fun. It's very, very enjoyable to play. And it's a huge success, and no surprise.
Yeah, we love to see it. Apparently, there's a couple of bodega cats in costumes.
Oh, I just saw them.
Yeah,
it's the Nathan Fillion
and Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, they're funny. They're really funny.
Yeah, which I mean, it's such a redundant thing to say, like Fillion and Tudyk together. They like almost single-handed. Well, I can't say that. Their relationship and just the two of them on screen, such a big part of Firefly's success and like enduring popularity was the two of them. Anyway, moving on. Doctor Who is coming up on its 60th anniversary, and as it has become an unofficial tradition, David Tennant is returning for the 60th anniversary special.
He always comes back for those?
He has been, to the point there's a joke, there's an episode of Doctor Who where he's like ancient, like has wearing really old man makeup. So the joke that I've seen is they use that footage and say like Disney pulling David Tennant out of his cryo sleep for the 100th anniversary special. Or not Disney, BBC. Anyway.
100? No, it's a 60 now, right? 100 is only 40
Yeah, but
years.
they're saying since like he's been in all of the anniversary specials.
Sure.
They're gonna do this again.
Yeah. But I mean, in 40 years, he'll be okay. I would say in 104 years for the 200th anniversary.
I see. Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna,
anyway, the
it's
point
gonna
is...
You said BBC, but it's going to be on Disney.
It is going to be on Disney+.
Yeah.
So, I like the idea of Doctor Who being distributed more widely. I hope Disney doesn't do anything else with it besides distribute, but we'll see.
Yeah. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, series in development at Amazon.
Yep, they've set Venus Sood as their showrunner.
Yeah, Daredevil, whatever crap they calling Daredevil now at Disney, got a new showrunner, a new writer because they lost theirs.
Was that Venus Sood?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know who Venus Sood is.
Okay, me neither.
Daredevil, whatever crap they calling, starting from scratch. We talked about that. They got a new showrunner.
Yep.
But
Disney is going to... I'm really confused by this, so help me out. Apparently, Disney is going to buy the rest of their Hulu stake back from Comcast for like $8.6 billion. But I thought Comcast was going to buy Hulu. Or did I just make that up?
No.
Okay.
Comcast. So Disney bought Fox that owns a high percentage of Hulu, and there's the option. I think it's January comes. There's the option of Disney buying the rest of the stocks to own majority of the company, the entire part of the company, or vice versa. Comcast would say, no, you want to buy. But now it's settled that Disney will pay for the minority stocks.
Yeah, that minority being $8.6 billion.
Hulu is excellent, which Disney buying it concerns me that they're gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
But the things they do, FX on Hulu and Fox Next Day on Hulu and all that. It's, you know, this has really great content.
They really do.
When Disney is like the things for kids and like old classic things for kids, because the new ones are woke and crap. And
oh goodness.
And the adult things, they are like mediocre and you know. So if they start touching on things from Hulu, yeah, we'll see.
We will indeed. They have pulled Magazine Dreams from the December release slate. That's a Jonathan Majors production.
Yeah. Also about Jonathan
shocker.
Majors because of, you know, his messy, terrible decisions and to being on a kids show. Disney, there's rumors that Disney might think on kicking him out, period, and bringing Doctor Doom instead of Kang for the new phase, whatever, of Marvel.
Okay. I mean, that's not the worst news I've heard in forever. Disney maybe they haven't ruled out just canceling Snow White, the remake.
Yeah, well, they moved the movie a year. They made some CGI dwarfs instead of the hipsters, woke, garbage people from the pictures we saw. So they tried to fix that, but there's still rumors that they might just scrap it because not only the contents from the movie, but what the girl, the actress, is saying about the movie is like it's not exciting anyone. On the contrary, it's like making them lose a little bit of that they already had.
It's true. It's weird because like with the Little Mermaid, there was some back and forth. There were people who loved the new direction and loved Halle Bailey, who frankly, like, the girl has a voice, like, fantastic. Like there was back and forth, but this one I haven't really seen any back and forth. I've really only seen people just being like disappointed at best in what Rachel Ziegler was saying and concerned about like how could this possibly be a good film if you're like just trashing the original, which is really what launched Disney and on the track that they're on now. Like anyway. And I can give you a whole spiel about how that original Snow White has, like, it's not oppressive at all. It's actually pretty fantastic and can be empowering and, like, that can be a whole spiel. But we don't need to go off on that right now because we don't have a lot of time.
If you live in a fantasy world, in a society that there's no bad guys, there's no villains, they're gonna find villains where, you know, on the bad guys. Well, I mean, sorry, on the good guys. You know?
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna spend time on that.
Yeah, Thor 5 is in development at Marvel Studios.
Also,
bringing us back to superhero fatigue, which I'm feeling.
Also, there's reports that to overcome that, Marvel Disney might bring back the original Avengers, including Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr., because the ones we have now are, Variety. Nobody is believing on this moment on Marvel Disney. The Variety came up with an article. Variety saying that the fatigue is real, that the decline is visible. They have to do things to change, and that's funny. On the text, they said that, and those things are not the Marvels. they already like discarded. It's like nobody believes on the Marvels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
I think they would do well to just like let it go. Just let the MCU be what it is. Let it go. Do some other stuff for a while, and come back in like 10 years. I know it's not gonna happen. It should, but it won't. All right. New rumor that the new upcoming Daisy Ridley Star Wars film is gonna be called Star Wars: A New Beginning.
Why? It's like her new beginning
Nobody wants that.
Her new beginning was on episode 7.
Yeah.
And this is one is like what 20, 30 years later. How is a new beginning? Even on the name, you morons don't know how to write.
Yeah, it's not promising.
Yeah.
She had like I like Rey. I like Daisy Ridley in that role. I wanted anyway. Okay, let's move on to some goofy stuff. Apparently, Diddy. This is Sean Combs, right? He's changed his name so many times.
Puff Daddy, Diddy.
I don't
know his
okay,
name.
anyway.
Sean Combs, sure.
Apparently he's got a mean Joker costume that was just too good. Because what did WB do to him?
WB sent him a cease and desist to use their properties. I mean,
like,
yeah.
Was he using it in like a music video or something?
I don't know. I think it was just for Halloween. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I question the validity of that one. Anyway, and then what's this about? A big piece of the moon is orbiting near Earth? Like what is that?
Yeah, a piece of them poof pops and is flying. And it's like up here. Big pieces relative, you know.
So like a chunk broke off, saying like
a chunk also is relative. Sure. It could be a piece on the size of, the moon is gravity there is pretty high.
Nope.
No, low.
There you go.
There's a scene, I think Superman kicks a ball from the moon and it gets out of the moon's atmosphere or whatever.
Well, the moon's atmosphere is like a few inches off the ground.
Yeah. And move in space. So a piece like that, get out of there. It is flying here. So be aware.
Okay, so like it's on its way, or is it just like?
I mean, even if it's
orbiting?
On its way, it's so small.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. There you have it. That's the week.
Yeah. Next week we're coming back to watch. I guess you're gonna watch the Marvels.
Yay!
To let you know. I mean, we're watching the Marvels, so you don't have to.
Because want to be so wrong, but right now I can't muster anything beyond
no way.
I'm excited to see Kamala again.
There's no way.
Or Kamala, rather.
Yeah,
I liked Kamala. I like that show.
She's gonna say, the show was okay. I think if anything, she has the potential to steal the show. I don't believe the other characters have no charisma. She does. And let's see how they're gonna use her. And we know the other characters have no charisma to the point that Carol Danvers, what's a bucket?
Brie Larson.
It was supposed to be her second movie, and they had to bring all this help because it was If there's like estimates by numbers by pre-sales that nobody's gonna see this movie. If it was only her, it's like really nobody would see that movie. But anyways, you're gonna see that. There's a bunch of new shows ending. We're talking next week. That's it.
Yep.
May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.